Hey guys, it's Kira. It's a new year. It's a new you. Right? No. It's the same you. And you're gonna have the same tendencies and the same habits. So if you want to have a better year and become a better you, I have some tips that are gonna help you get there. Because, as we all know, we can make as many resolutions as we want and they won't come true if we don't change our habits. This time of year, I see everyone I look at making a million resolutions and I'm like, okay, well, how are you gonna get there? Because if someone's had the same goal for years and it still hasn't happened, it's not gonna happen unless you significantly change your approach. So I'm just gonna talk about some things that might be getting in your way of whatever your goals are this year, because we all have our tendencies that hold us back. So yeah, let's get into it. Here's the thing. Your capacity is 20 times more than you think it is. So your capacity for stress, for workload, your tolerance for people, how nice you can be, how loving you can be, your capacity for all of that is 20 times bigger than you think it is. Your capacity for information, all of it is a lot bigger than we like to tell ourselves. We do like 2 things and we're like, oh my god, I'm exhausted. You can do so much more than you think you can without needing a break. If you feel like you've done a hard day's work, don't say, okay, well, I worked really hard today, so I can take the rest of the week off. No, if you work that hard every single day, you will reach your goals. But if you work hard for one day and say, wow, I did a really good job, I deserve a break. That's as far as you're gonna get, you know? Because that's like 1 step forward, 6 steps back, you know? And maybe every once in a while you can give yourself a break, but just in 2018, I am personally gonna try and be a lot harder on myself and not take so many breaks and not be so easy on myself. Like, there is a difference between taking it easy on yourself and self-care, because they are different things, but people like to put them together all the time and use it as an excuse. For me, taking care of myself is also pushing myself and giving myself tough love so that I can get where I want to be. Because when I don't do that, I am neglecting myself, because I know I'm gonna be upset with myself and hate myself for not working hard and not being where I want to be. So for me, every time I push myself and I'm hard on myself, I get closer to my goal, and then when I reach that goal, I am so much more fulfilled and so much happier than if I had taken it easy on myself and called it self-love. Self-love is getting your ass to the gym because you love your body and you want to be strong, and being hard on yourself even when you don't want to go because your instinct is to stay in bed, to develop habits so that you do go, so that you feel better and that you reach your goals. If it's some kind of project you're working on, actually pushing yourself because you care about that project. So you are taking care of yourself when you work on that project. Just be a little tougher on yourself and you'll see how much further you can go. Because there's a huge difference between taking care of yourself and being lazy. And that is the difference that will take you down. So one of my biggest tips for how to have a better year in 2018 is to limit your dependencies. So what I mean by that is everything we're dependent on is a weakness. You really need to take a look at your life and think about all the things you wouldn't be okay without and try to minimize that list. So it can be as simple as coffee in the morning. I don't drink coffee, and I never really started for the exact reason that I didn't want to be dependent on something to wake me up in the morning and to make me productive. I wanted to be able to do that on my own. So, I mean, if coffee's your shit, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I am going to tell you it is a lot better to be independent on anything. If you need coffee to wake you up in the morning, it could be a good goal to try and get off that so that you can rely on yourself to be productive without needing anything to wake you up, you know? Another thing people are very dependent on is the way they look, in the sense that if their eyebrows aren't done or their nails aren't done, they don't feel good about themselves. If you cut that thought out of your brain, because it's not real. Like, it's really not real. I just have never felt the need to, like, I've painted my nails before and I've had my nails done before, but I've never done it consistently, never had them done professionally. I never felt like I needed it. But for people who are like, oh, my nail is broken, like, I need to go get this fixed right now, You really don't. What you do need to do is progress yourself in your life and your soul and your fulfillment and your journey. You really don't need to get that nail fixed. Like, on the scale of things, people are dying, people are hungry, and you have this opportunity to progress yourself in your life, and you're worried about this tiny nail? Like, it kind of blows my mind how big we make such small things, you know? And same thing with your eyebrows. Like, I understand, I get it, but I don't. You know? Like, I understand. I've never had my eyebrows done. Also, I've never seen someone before and after their eyebrows were done and being like, oh, wow, that's a different person. You know? Like, if you were to not focus on any of these tiny things that you think are important, you would get to your goals so much faster. And then no one's gonna see you as the girl with the good eyebrows. They're gonna see you as the girl who is successful in this way, or the girl who is successful in that way. Not just girls, anyone. Well, the successful dancer, the successful scientist, the successful mathematician, the successful this or that, the astronaut. You know? If you're an astronaut, you can't even see your eyebrows. So, what's your real priority? Blowing little things up is stopping you from getting where you want to be. Like, the nail is just an example. It could be anything. It could be the small thing that goes wrong in your day that you let ruin your day, and you let limit your productivity and your happiness for that day, or your week. The person who said something to you and you let it play in the back of your head for a month. You know, like, all these little things that we blow up, it's just so unnecessary, and that's what's stopping us from getting where we want to be. Another thing we need to limit our dependency on is other people. This is the hardest one for obvious reasons, but once you stop needing validation from other people, you stop needing attention from other people, stop needing other people in general, you'll be able to progress yourself so much faster because you don't need anyone's validation, you don't need anyone to pay attention to you, you don't need help from anyone. Once you just turn that off in your brain, the need for someone to say, oh, you look really good today, or, oh yeah, like, that's a good idea, like, you should go with that. Once you stop needing that validation, you will be a force, because that's what holds people back. I swear to God, that's what holds people back the most. That's what's held me back, is not doing things because I don't believe in myself, and I don't know if they're good, and I need other people to tell me that they're good before I'm like, okay, yeah, it's good, it's a good idea, I can roll with it now. But if you, like, really started believing in yourself first, and you never needed that validation, and you still don't need that validation, you're gonna move faster. You're gonna progress much quicker. Another thing we need to stop depending on is attention from other people. If someone doesn't text you back, move on. I am the biggest culprit of this, so, like, this is just as much for me as it is for you. I, with a lot of people, get stuck on the idea of needing closure and needing to know what happened. Disinterest is closure. If someone's not reciprocating your energy and giving you the energy that you are giving out, that is closure. That's all you need to know. End of story. You don't need to know the details, you need to know that they're not good for you. And that is that. Move on. This year for me is just about realizing that nothing has control over me except for me. So any vices we have, we let them take control over us. We let them tell us that we need them. We don't. We are in control. This year for me is about being in control and taking my control back, because I realize when I'm the most upset and the most, like, in a weird space and feeling weird energy, it's because I feel like I'm not in control, and maybe like I'm being controlled, or that something else has control over me. I hate that feeling. It is the worst feeling in the world. Also, when I feel like something has happened and I can't do anything about it. Just controls my happiness. And I know I'm not the only one. So once you become more independent and let go of all of these things that we're dependent on, that's how you get your control back. Because when you're dependent on someone else or something else, it has some control over you. And that is scary. And that puts you in a bad place. That doesn't set you up for success. That sets you up for negativity and just no peace of mind. So the more independent you get, the more in control you are, the more in control you feel, the better control you have over yourself and your actions, and the more you'll be able to achieve whatever you have set out for yourself this year. So yeah, basically the more independent you become in every single way, the easier it will be for you to reach your goals in 2018. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've had a great start to your year so far. I hope things continue to go well for you. I hope you take these tips and you run with it, and you don't let anyone get in your way or anything get in your way. You don't let anything distract you, and you get what you want. I hope that for you. And for me. I hope that for all of us. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.